Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another REHI Podcast episode. And today I have a very surprise guest for you because I bring you one of the biggest Estonian stand-up comics, Daniel Veinbergs. How would you say, what are you? Who are you?
Well, you were correct when you introed me as a very surprised guest because I was convinced that we're doing this in Estonian. But fortunately, I've lived abroad. I'm a cosmopolitan man, so I can also switch languages.
Did you found out 10 seconds ago that
Yes.
When I did the intro.
The moment you started doing an intro, I was a very surprised guest.
Дорогие друзья, здравствуйте. Мой друг Daniel Veinbergs здесь, мы делаем подкаст.
Ему по-русски тоже, потому что
you speak Russian, I forgot.
я родилась в Юхве. Я не очень хорошо говорю по-русски. Моя мама был русский. Теперь он целая интеграция.
I have to translate at the same time because people are like, for the last 15 seconds, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, so I was born in Jõhvi, which is second most eastern city in Estonia. I think it's like 70% ethnically Russian. Half of my family was like ethnically Russian. Now they've seen the light. My mother speaks fluent Estonian. She didn't speak a word of Estonian when she met my father, but now she actually teaches Estonian to children.
That's like a super big change.
Yeah, so it's possible. Integration is possible even at a late age.
Who's paying you?
I'm getting paid from the Estonian government, from Ukraine, and also since I diversify my sponsors, I also get a hefty sum from Lukoil, which isn't problematic at all.
I think my viewers might not even understand the joke.
Gazprom would be maybe.
Gazprom, main sponsor of this show, Gazprom.
Yeah, they really dropped off though. The money keeps getting smaller and smaller.
Damn it.
Yeah. I keep I'm not happy about it, but you keep what you have.
So the main thing in Estonia is that we have about 25% of the population ethnically Russian, so Russian speaking, and for them it's really, it shouldn't be, but the main issue is for the last 30 years they have not learned Estonian, so everybody's like, integration is possible, but we're not really seeing it. So Daniel is actually like a living example of positive integration.
Well, I was raised pretty aggressively to be an Estonian. I didn't realize it as a kid, but now that I look back, I didn't spend as much time with my Russian grandmother as I did with my Estonian speaking grandmother, because my parents didn't want me to become like a Whitenik person. Not that my mother's side grandmother was a Whitenik or anything, but it was a different time and our country was very young. So I don't understand pragmatically why you wouldn't want your child to become like an Estonian national, because you just have way more opportunities later in life.
Yeah, nobody has anything against Estonia except for Russia. Every other country, your passport is really good. You can travel.
Yeah,
European Union
Estonian
pensions.
passport, one of the strongest in the world. There's very few countries where you can't get a visa. When I went to live in Australia, I think I got a visa with like an automatic mail. I thought it was a spam mail at first, but I got the visa in 1 minute.
Oh yeah, it was the same in Canada for me. I registered and I was like panicking in the airport. How the fuck am I gonna get in? And suddenly you have been approved.
Because Estonians have a very good reputation in the world, because we have a very good work ethic. When I say very good work ethic, we show up kind of on time. And I guess in Australia, that's like you're like a CEO if you keep that standard up. If you do the bare minimum, you're like very valued as an employee.
The whole society is quite kind of like relaxed, and I call it relaxed, but actually in my eyes it drives me crazy when people are just, oh, chill bro, let's get shit done. Get shit done.
No, we're very relaxed, but also very I guess ambitious, or we have this like small country mentality where we need to achieve in order to feel relevant.
Oh yeah.
I guess.
Well, as a person, I have that even. It's so hard to feel good about myself if I don't do anything. To go on a vacation and not do anything for a whole day.
It sucks.
It's really bad.
It sucks. Just a sunny day with nothing on your calendar is like a very bad day.
Oh yeah.
It's like I had nothing booked on June. And when you messaged me like, come on your podcast, I was like, oh, another day to keep the demons at bay.
A podcast a day keeps the demons away.
yes. Which is, so we're, I'd say Estonians were very talented in a lot of fields, but everything except for mental health.
Oh yeah.
That needs quite a bit of work.
Quite a
bit of work.
Or just an insane amount of antidepressants and relaxatives or...
Yeah,
not laxatives, but
laxatives. Yeah, you can just poop out negative emotions.
Superpower of Estonians.
Yeah, it reminds me of a quote on Sopranos when Tony Soprano.
I love that show.
Yeah, was at the psychiatrist's office, and he had like an emotional breakthrough, and it was very unpleasant. And then the lady described, some people describe the feeling of an emotional breakthrough as childbirth. And then Tony Soprano was like, oh, it feels like taking a shit. I can't say that word. It feels like taking a poo.
I think we can say shit now.
Yeah.
With the new algorithm.
And he was like, trust me, it's like taking a shit. So...
Yeah, I remember. I really liked that show. So Tony is like such a tough guy, and then he's crying like a little girl, which there's nothing wrong with. I cry also, but like it's for him, it was really bad to cry. So
you cry? What a wimp!
Don't tell anybody, but I'm a little bitch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Actually, okay, I wanna cry. I haven't been able to cry for a year and a half because of antidepressants, but I really want to. But just physically, it doesn't happen now.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's like a really common problem with Estonian males, because there's like everything like you talk about what's happening to us psychologically right now goes back to birth of our country when we were like 1991, when we gained independence. Like everything was really on shaky grounds. So our parents were like had to become Europeans very quickly and create careers really quickly. And now there's a lot of wealthy Estonians who are emotionally a whole mess, and their kids are a mess, like thriving academically, career-wise thriving, but otherwise we're still learning like how do you express love, how do you express emotion. That's really important, because you can have €1 million in the bank, but if you're rotting inside, you can't really fix that with money.
Somebody said, now this is a joke of course, but somebody said it's better to cry in a Lamborghini than in a Lada. Yeah. But actually, in a way, I do agree. I know these very rich guys, and if I talk to them, you see the emotional matureness of a person. If you talk about the mannerisms and how they react to stuff, it's like, wow, are you 15? Like, how did you become so rich without maturing mentally? Yeah. But it's possible.
But honestly, that's what I like about Estonia. Like, I really found that out when I went to visit Melbourne, because it's a really like well-off city, because they haven't been bombed to the ground twice in 1 century.
It's a small detail.
Yeah. So I think like Estonia's biggest weakness is our neighbor, but it's also the cause of a lot of our strengths, because we need to be mature in order to be a country. Just like Taiwan needs to be really successful and mature in order to like really have that academic technological edge, which keeps them so valued by a lot of bigger countries. So I think Estonia is not much different because of that.
Yeah, as like being so small, as soon as we fall into like a comfort zone of a country, for France it would mean nothing. Maybe economy goes down a bit. For us, we would cease to exist basically in the world scale.
Yeah.
Also Israel, for example, like they cannot afford anything else than like sheer aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they will just be eaten up by all of the neighbors who hate them. So
Yeah.
in the same way, kind of.
Yeah, but there's also this thing of like this fear of war, fear of scarcity. It's also a great like motivator to do great things and to be like a better person. I know it's kind of messed up to look at positive sides from a war, but for me, I think a big positive, like a societal shift that happened because of the war in Ukraine is that I find personally we've become less divided than we were before that. Or everything that made us bicker and argue before doesn't seem as important anymore.
COVID.
Yeah, COVID, yeah. So I think we found a lot of fears being realized in the last couple of years, but we've also become, I find, more homogeneous, which is, I think, a positive. Because when I went to Melbourne, we did a comedy show at the comedy festival there. It was called Estonian Invasion. And I felt I had this new surge of motivation because of the war. I felt, even though it was on such a micro scale, I still felt, oh, I'm representing my country. I'm showing us that we're not some backwater Eastern European post-Soviet country, that we're doing interesting art, we're doing interesting innovation. Please listen to us. So that's what I found. It had like a really positive effect on my motivation, that I wasn't just doing it for me. Mm-hmm. And that's where you find the most strength in community. So that's really a wholesome thought.
Yeah, it is. And Estonians have, I can't believe I'm saying this, I would say learned from Russians, but now I'm going to say learned from Ukrainians, because they are both very communal people. And the Soviet system kind of forced Estonia to be more communal, but Estonian personality as a type is very individualistic, much more than Americans, much more than almost any country in the world. So for us, it's very difficult to become united. And as you said, the foreign enemy does that for us. And now, yes, the country is more united than ever. Even I have seen full Russian-speaking people in Estonia who don't speak a word of Estonians, and they're fully pro-European Union. Yeah. It's so weird.
They're not like they're not Estonian nationals per se, but they're not Russian nationals either. There's something different. I think that the only, how you would say, whiteniks in Estonia maybe are people who were like in their 50s when the Soviet Union fell, and they didn't manage to integrate, which I kind of understand as well. It's really hard to transform as a person when you're older. So now when you see like those street interviews with those really evil looking old ladies who want Putin to come and rescue them, like they never got a chance to realize their potential as a person. And now it feels like it's too late. So they look at any identity that they can find, because they can't find it with us, unfortunately. So on a positive side, they're gonna die really soon. So it's really a problem that's gonna solve itself. So it's not like how do we reform those 80-year-old babushkas?
Oh yeah, just wait.
Yeah, just chill. It's go for a walk in a bog.
Like Ukraine is using these weaponized mosquitoes and pigeons. We are using weaponized time.
Yeah.
The internal enemy.
Time really is the greatest weapon.
And we're paying time, and we're like training time to do that for us.
Time has the best kill-death ratio. It's like 100%.
It is. Nobody has been able to survive that weapon yet.
Yeah. And it's precise. The most precise weapon.
And the Estonian fascists have it.
Yeah, and it's free. That's the best weapon. It's better than HIMARS or ATACMS.
Let's give time for Ukraine also.
Yeah.
Time for Ukraine.
yeah. Let's give the Czech Republic found like 100 million allocated seconds of time to give to
Petro
Ukraine.
Pavel, the president.
Yeah,
He's true hero. I got so much time to give.
Yeah. Really is the greatest resource. And when you look at like really long term, like no nation will survive time anyways.
And like these ultra-nationalist Estonians who are now putting up pro-Russian narratives like we shouldn't give Ukraine weapons because Estonia needs these weapons, then this could apply here also. We couldn't give that time before that time kills off Russian babushkas in Estonia, and then we can donate it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Everyone's so.
It's a joke. This last 5 minutes, complete. Yeah.
Well, speak for yourself. I'm on the side of time, and I don't know. In a weird way, everyone's become so negative and gloomy about the future. I just keep getting.
Why?
I just keep getting more positive. I don't know.
I don't know if I'm an optimist. People are like, I was interviewed yesterday by Postimees, and the guy was really, really depressed. And the questions were like, so when is going to Ukraine lose, or when? Or is your family going to leave Estonia? I'm like, what?
Yeah,
what?
That's because they have news brain.
Yeah.
Do you know what news brain is? It's when you don't take into account when you read the news, and you don't take into account what's the motivator for people who write the news?
The secret underlying
which is
idea.
money.
Yeah.
That's every actor in this conflict they're all representing their interest somehow. Estonia is representing their interest, Ukraine is representing their interest, US is, the media in Estonia is, and you can't fault them for it. But I think as messed up as it sounds, it's a big game, and everyone's playing their part. And I hope that doesn't sound cliche, but I found myself way more relaxed when I realized that maybe media is not always doing the right thing or things for some altruistic reasons. Maybe they also have ad buyers. They need to sell views, clicks, and everything that's negative.
I mean, media about this war, they have gained a lot because people click what they are afraid of. They click on fear, but fear is like a short-term solution. So media has done so many mistakes, I think. Estonian media also, they are blowing the fear bubble.
Yeah.
Everybody clicks on it, and now everybody's like, okay, Ukraine is going to lose any moment and we are next.
Yeah.
The truth is, no. I firmly believe Ukraine will win. And secondly, there's nothing in Russia that can attack Estonia right now, or the Baltics.
Yeah.
Finland is their biggest problem right now because they are close with their massive army to St. Petersburg. I mean, we, Estonia, we're suddenly priority number 10.
Yeah, that's also a weird paradox that has happened in the last 2 years, where we are like, our geopolitical position in the world is the strongest and safest than it's ever been.
Oh, yeah.
But we're also in the most danger than we ever. That's like a weird paradox, because Finland and Sweden, they weren't even close to joining NATO before the conflict, and now they have. But also the reason why they joined is the reason why we are in quote unquote big danger. So I don't know. What bums me out with all this, like I can unpack the motivations of media people because I've studied journalism. I've worked in journalism. I worked as a reporter.
Oh, really?
So yeah, in a few, not like really serious organizations, but enough to understand how editors think.
Not Pornhub, right?
Not Pornhub, yeah. But what like kind of saddens me is that a lot of Estonian youth who don't have maybe the information checking tools that I have been given, they do really fear, and they take all that fear into account when they're making life plans. So maybe a lot of Estonian people who would otherwise stay in our country, they're making plans to leave, or they're too afraid to buy real estate here, or they don't want to have babies here. I know from personal example this friend who has like a girlfriend from Scotland, and the girlfriend's parents don't want the girlfriend to move to Estonia because danger is so high. And that's like really, I know, it kind of bums me out.
It seems, living here in Estonia right now, it seems so bizarre and weird. But from America, some viewers, perhaps from Australia, Canada, might even think, yeah, we're right next to Russia. And we are. I mean, to the border, it's 3 hours with a car. We are right next to Russia. We are also in the European Union and in NATO, and Finland is in NATO to the north, Latvia to the south, Sweden to the west. There's Scotland Island, which is militarized aircraft carrier pretty much. I mean, there's NATO doctrine has been changed to not to reactive, which it was before, but to proactive doctrine from the first meter. So living here, it's like this fully European Union. You don't see any sign of any coming aggression. You don't even see soldiers on the streets. There's nothing saying that the war is even going on, except for the Ukrainian flags everywhere.
Yeah. It's lovely. You can take a poo in front of a Russian embassy.
Can you?
I think you can. I don't think the one police car that's guarding it really cares that much. Because I also, like, I get that we need to have a Russian embassy because we do have Russian nationals living here. But does the flag need to be so big? Like, can we make the flag comically small? Just a tiny flag. Because we can't attack them like physically, but we can do everything else, which is like sentiment.
Maybe political. We can just blow like super hot air to the flag so it shrinks.
Yeah. Just make it embarrassing to be here as a Russian.
Yeah, in Poland they're just throwing red paint at the ambassadors, but I feel like we lack the Slavic energy to do that. We're like Nordic Estonians. We're like, okay, stay if you want.
Yeah,
we are not like energetic enough to hate so strongly.
Yeah. So I think our biggest security guarantee is just keeping good relations with the US. I think we should do even more, like things that are maybe unnecessary. We should erect like a 100-meter golden statue of Joe Biden in Raekoja Plats.
Then our name should be Estonia Stan, or like some Stan country.
Just even Hunter Biden with no laptop. There's no mention of the laptop. No crack pipe, nothing. It's just, sorry, is this controversial?
I just lost like half of my viewers.
Oh no, they're all Biden heads.
No, we have both. We have both. Welcome Trump supporters and welcome Biden supporters. You're all welcome here.
Yeah. I saw this comedian in Melbourne, Tom Segura, when he went to on tour, and he had this great joke about how he thinks that all of the world should be able to vote who the next president of the United States is.
Because it affects their countries more than their own president.
Yeah.
In Estonia, that's the case 100%.
Yeah, but it seems to me, like in Estonia, everyone's so nervous about Trump becoming president. But I don't know, I've learned from my own life experience, you can't really trust, especially a politician's words. You can trust their actions. Mm-hmm. And we can also look at history, like what happened before when Trump was president. And didn't he like give more weapons and funding to Ukraine than previous administrations? Wasn't it during Trump time when like the highest official in this decade came to visit us? Didn't like Mike Pence come to visit our country, say, hey, all good, we will defend you during Trump presidency?
I'm honestly, seeing what Trump did. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not his fan. I don't actually like him as a person, but viewing him as president, seeing what he says and what he said before he was president, then what he actually did, they were completely different.
Also, a lot of things the media says when they quote Trump, and from that they assume Trump wants to come out of NATO or stop NATO, or like a lot of things Trump has said, or a lot of like verbal conflict Trump has had with NATO is actually like the policy we want, which is Europe should like spend more on defense, not rely on US that much.
Agreed.
A lot of like, wasn't Trump the one who said that maybe Germany shouldn't build this giant gas pipe with Russia?
Oh yeah, it was him.
And that's a weird thing. And now everyone's like panicking. Oh, Trump will become president and give up the US hegemony over the world.
My view is,
who wants to give up power?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want Trump to become president, but if he becomes president, I think he's going to support Ukraine the way US has. Like, it's not only his decision; it's about the biggest companies in the US, which one of them, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, all the military companies. If he decides, okay, I'm gonna take away most of your money because we're not going to send weapons. That's not how US works. It's a big business.
Yeah.
They need to export weapons. Afghanistan is no longer a thing for them, so they need another conflict. There's no way in hell a businessman like Trump says no to these billions going through United States economy.
They also have such a thing as, I know it might sound controversial, but US does have like a pretty strong democratic system and pretty separate institutions, and it's really hard to, like, even as president, I think Obama said that even as president you can't really do like 180-degree shift in policy. You can maybe do like a 4-degree shift in your direction. So I ask from a lot of people who say, oh, Trump's gonna become president, he's gonna pull the US out of NATO. I always ask, like, step by step, how? Like, don't quote me Michael Bolton, because he's a meme. He was a meme like 3 years ago. Was his name Michael Bolton? Is that a singer?
I'm not sure about that
He's like a former security aide or someone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just a comic. I usually do just...
No, but you're right,
jokes.
because United States has insane amount of bases and assets in Europe.
Yeah.
Pulling them out is not just taking them away and exterminate. Like, these contracts, running them, delivering food, logistics, maintenance of the planes, whatever Europe has, like insane amount of weapons from the US. Like, you cannot just end these contracts. That alone will take a decade, and United States has no interest in doing that.
Yeah, and also aren't those US military bases basically sovereign US land in the country of our ally? Like, from what I've heard, like, even Finnish officials don't have full access to the US bases that are stationed there. So that's like, that's when you're saying US will pull out of NATO, that's saying, oh, US wants to give up power, wants to give up money, and no country in the history of world voluntarily does that. That's not how countries or empires work. And if we would pick like a hegemony, US, I think, is the best leader of the world.
As a smaller nation in the border area of European Union and Russia, I mean, we have always been between those two great powers here. We have to pick one. And we have picked the democratic European Union, Brussels, who make up a lot of decisions we have to follow in Estonia, and the United States, Washington, who makes another bunch of decisions that we have to follow. And for me, it's like, I follow Washington, Brussels, or I follow Moscow. The decision is simple.
Yeah,
There's no decision.
Have no problem. Let's declare Estonia 53rd state of the United States.
Oh yeah,
we are so snugly in US's arms. It's lovely. They have the best movies. They won the cultural war. They won the financial war. They won the war. Like, they're the best.
They lost to Vietnam farmers, but they won most wars.
Yeah. Also, what other world empire nukes a country and then rebuilds it into top 5 economy in like 70 years?
Same goes with Germany, only without the nuke. They were also like down the toilet. The money didn't work, nothing. It was inflation, and now it's one of the biggest economies in the world. So
yeah, because they did have like another plan for Germany on the table, which what was it called? where they wanted to basically remove all industry from Germany, so they'd have no opportunity to rearm itself, but also like half of the population would die of famine. I think it was...
Really? That sounds like a conspiracy theory, honestly.
No, because everything, when you look back in history, now makes sense. Of course they did that. Of course they took the high road, but it's not all. How would you say? You can't take it for granted, because US was very. I sound really conservative now, but motivated by good old Christian values, and I think by now it was like a good thing that they valued human life, that they turned the other cheek even towards their enemy, and made the enemies into their biggest allies.
I mean, the cheapest way to have a subject is to make sure they're self-sufficient and they have a working economy, and then even they buy goods from you, so your economy grows. The Russian way to have subjects is just like stamp down on them,
oppress them, beat them. Yeah, that will have no long-term repercussions. Even didn't the Baltic states have the biggest partisan war under occupation in all Europe? Like the Forest Brothers. Lithuania had like a really big insurgency.
Partisan war, yeah. Yeah, Lithuania and Forest Brothers were like organized even.
Yeah. But if Soviet Union had gone different route, hey, let's feed everyone.
Let's build up the economy.
Yeah. Everyone would be pro-Soviet. Soviet Union would still exist.
Everybody would speak Russian.
If they stopped sending dogs into space and instead like feed their population, give them genes. They didn't want that much even.
Like imagine Holodomor in Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
But vice versa. They come in forcefully with huge bags of grain and they just throw them at the houses and leave.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
That's the thing with violence. It might sound like hippie nonsense, but purely pragmatically, violence doesn't work.
It works in very short term, very like a doctor who has to cut something open, like very focused. You fix it, you put it. But if you just use violence for decades, yesterday I think it was Tiananmen Square 30 years, right?
Yeah.
40 years, something like that. I mean, it always produces the opposite reaction of people.
Yeah, unless you go all the way.
Yes.
Unless you 100% genocide.
Hitler tried that.
Then it works.
But even 7 million Jewish casualties later, it still didn't work.
Yeah, because they didn't go all the way.
Anyway,
I think the thing Germany did wrong, they didn't Holocaust enough. They didn't Holocaust enough.
Israel, right?
Yeah.
I mean, another topic I cannot touch at all is Israel-Palestine. I cannot. I made one video, I got demonetized to oblivion.
Yeah.
It got blocked worldwide.
Yeah.
And I cannot even I think algorithm is like Palestine. Okay, that's 3 mentions, delete his channel.
Yeah. I think Estonia should also go the way of Israel. Not in the way of Israel in recent history, but in a way of we should extend our soft power somehow way more.
Do we have soft power?
Not with this attitude. Because why do we talk about putting one of our few billion euros that we have into having 2 tanks instead of 1? Why, if we're so afraid of Trump becoming president, why won't we send the same guys who we send to the US to sell books and Bibles? Send them as emissaries for Biden campaign. Go door to door to swing state suburban areas.
I am from
Hey,
Estonia.
have you heard of Joe Biden? I'm not from Estonia.
With a heavy Estonian accent.
Yeah, with a heavy
Estonian.
I am not representing any foreign interests.
Also, ooh la la, nice house.
Have you heard of Trump's infrastructure plan? It's really good. And boom, now we have our president in the Oval Office. Thanks to Estonia. Because the margins during US elections. They're so small in those swing countries. It's like 0.2%.
Plus,
we can make a real difference.
Yes, because all of the money that goes to our military right now should go to the election campaign, and that would be cheaper for us to defend ourselves with United States weapons with the right president than to buy these weapons.
Yeah. And Biden would then owe us.
Yeah.
But it's actually not good to like give favors to someone who is, on death's door. I don't think rich people die anymore. I think they figured something out.
Isn't Rockefeller still alive? The 100-year-old guy who owns everything in the world?
I think he died like 4 months ago.
Shit.
But when you look at like clips of Biden, like you can see there's like an exoskeleton. Like he's moving mechanically. Like those.
I don't want to be like bashing Biden, but it's seriously funny sometimes. Like I saw him riding a bike and falling. Shouldn't laugh about this stuff. I'm sorry. I've fallen a bike.
I think that's the biggest flex you can have as a country. We put like a skeleton to lead, and everything still works.
Yeah,
because that's the difference between
it's self-governing.
Yeah, that's the difference between US and Russia.
United States actually does not need a president. If they have it, of course, strong man, very good. But if they don't have one, everything still works.
Yeah, if a Russian president dies, nothing really changes. If a Russian president dies, everything changes. In Russia.
Yeah.
So that's the big. And also when people talk, the US, they're so weak, they left Afghanistan. Even that to me looks like a massive flex. Oh, you mean to tell me they moved 200,000 men, armor, weapons, helicopters from one side of the world to another in 2 weeks with minimum casualties? That's like no other country in the world can do that. To project competence and power in the other, Russia can only invade their neighbors like a cock.
I mean, they even in that they fail.
Yeah, even in that they fail. But US can do they teleport.
Oh yeah.
Can your country teleport?
Putin?
Yeah. Then fucking keep good relations with the big boys on the playground.
Yeah, I mean, if you really
stop doing cringe,
like physically put them next to each other, it's like this. Russia is this little kid. I mean, if you put the numbers next to it and the power, Russia is this like mentally broken little kid really wanting to fight like the 30-year-old man.
Yeah.
It's like, pew! But the United States doesn't do that. They don't need to. They don't have to. They are taking their time and controlling Ukrainians' victory very slowly.
Yeah,
it's not about like whether Ukraine will win or not. It is when United States allows Ukraine to win.
Yeah.
They just don't feel like it yet.
And also,
they're having fun, I guess.
The cost for the US to win this war is so small. They don't even feel it.
Oh, yeah.
And Russia is like, it's so embarrassing for them. Just how much they're putting into this, how they're just getting another field. And another field, maybe a third field. What are you gonna do? Like
the second
farm
field was
more?
just taken back.
Yeah, and then you're gonna lose it again. Congratulations.
Like 5,000 people died for this, and it was taken back by a few drones.
Like the US keeps so little attention. Really, it's like Ukraine is on a back burner for them. It almost feels like, because did you watch the interview Mike Johnson gave, the Speaker of the House, who decided to like go ahead with the House vote to give aid to Ukraine? Like he gave an interview. What motivated his decision? What made him see light? And he said, "I really believe that the Russia, Iran, China, they're the next axis of evil. I really think that the Balkans might be next." I'm like, dude, the Balkans. You're a government official. You should know countries. And that's actually another big flex. You don't even need to know where Ukraine is, and you still make them win.
Like, you don't even know where they are, and almost 100 billion has been sent from United States. Like, take it.
Yeah.
Just take it and go. I don't know where you are. I don't want to know. Go and win the war. Good boy.
So that's like that should really terrify Russia. Is that they, I think, like on the eve of it. It seems to me that the whole decision for Putin to begin the war, it must have been emotion. It kind of, because everyone's saying, oh, he's this like great strategist, 5D chess player.
Yeah, I know who's saying this, but these guys who are saying this, like, they're always projecting some kind of master plan to him. He has loss after loss. And people are like, oh, he's getting ready for his master plan. This is all, he's pulling out the ace.
But I think when Putin was massing troops on the Ukrainian border in February 2020, and they were still having those diplomatic meetings with the long ass table, and I think like Boris Johnson, someone from the US, Liz Truss went to talk with Putin and his entourage. And I think Liz Truss said something like, we will never allow you to invade St. Petersburg. And then Putin and his entourage was like, oh, you don't even know what we're talking about. Screw you guys.
You don't even care.
Yeah. And I think that moment Liz Truss said, St. Petersburg, we're not going to invade. I think that was the moment when Putin decided, it was a bluff, but I'm not so sure anymore.
Now you got me going.
Yeah. So I think there's been political incompetence maybe on both sides.
There's so much of that on the West. I mean, in Russia, there is no political competence. There is just a dictator and the following sheep.
It's just a blind, drunk bear.
But in the West, there is a lot of political incompetence. I mean, wrong countries being named, not wrong locations, wrong people who are like some officials who are saying, okay, our country donated this and this and this fighting vehicle. They're like saying the wrong names and wrong assets that they're giving. They're giving billions of their taxpayers' money and they don't know what they're giving.
Yeah.
Who it takes it and it's what it does.
It's good content.
It's funny because we all need the Prigozhin to laugh over. He's gone now.
Oh, that was like a good day.
We need
remember Prigozhin? Like when he did, Slavs never disappoint.
Yeah.
In terms of like, I know they can't make a Netflix series yet because it's politically problematic right now, but that movie will be amazing.
Prigozhin?
The everything. Prigozhin, the whole character, everyone's like, who wrote this? It's amazing.
Yeah, his story is insane.
That bald, fat guy just taking on the biggest country's president, saying, we're coming to Moscow. And they just kept riding for 24 hours.
And he's like, oh, a plane.
Yeah, shut down helicopters. And I think in the end, the reason they didn't go through with going to Moscow is just sheer sleep deprivation.
Oh yeah, they didn't sleep.
Because they didn't get to sleep for 24 hours. You get really cranky and non-invasive.
I feel like he was always cranky in every video. Shoigu!
Yeah, Shoigu! I love that video.
It's so good.
It's
in the back there's 30 dead bodies though.
Yeah.
Let's ignore that part, but the rest of it is gold.
Yeah, but whose bodies? No, anyways, human life, everyone's precious. But nobody can. I don't think they will find an actor to play Prigozhin as well as he
Steven
did.
Seagal.
Steven Seagal.
Bald
maybe.
Steven Seagal. He's fat already.
Yeah. He needs to bald a little more.
Did you see when he was given the Friendship Award like a week ago?
Yeah.
He's like, Ukrainians are Nazis. Yeah, Ukrainians are and he's reading from the phone.
Yeah,
obviously seeing it for the first time. Like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah. It's really a really good example of pride beat thy folly. I know I'm quoting the Bible a lot.
This is the first, I think. In this.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Or at least saying Christian values.
I haven't quoted the Bible at all. Maybe I should. Maybe that's I don't have 1 million subscribers yet. I haven't done it.
Yeah. I mean, you're on your way there. But But yeah, the whole conflict has been so like there's so many interesting characters, like even the evil ones. They're just.
I mean, Lukashenko, Prigozhin, and Medvedev are three of my favorites. They're clowns and they always entertain.
Yeah. I mean, Medvedev is almost boring by now.
They're very repetitive.
Yeah, and also like the threats, they keep getting staler and staler when you never follow through.
Oh yeah,
that's the thing.
3 years of barking and no bites.
Yeah.
Just blow up a city, I dare you.
It's like when you threaten to leave your girlfriend for the 7th time in the same month, like at some point it doesn't have the same weight to it, you know? And you can't smoke weed anymore. Okay, this is getting too personal.
Yeah, I think this is not connected to Medvedev anymore.
Yeah. But that's really what Russia is. It's like a really bitter ex-girlfriend.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who
a true Slavic girlfriend though. They are like you have Slavic women. So
the scorn of a woman, you know, scorn of a disappointed woman, and yeah, Russia is like that. Russia's like that toxic ex from way back who learned none of the lessons.
Oh yeah, you have moved on. You're like
You've moved on. Yeah. You're thriving. And he made all the wrong. Oh, he was a piece of shit, and he still thinks that. 30 years later,
he's clinging on to the idea that it was his fault and he ruined my life and like
yeah, but wasn't it? It was more exciting with me. Yeah, that's the negative.
Yeah. It was definitely more exciting in the Soviet Union for Estonia. Drinking vodka every day of the week and no issues. I mean, it was party.
Yeah.
But 40,000 executed in Siberia, deported. It's not that fun anymore.
Yeah. We all have a personal like family history there. And my grandmother was sent to Siberia, escaped. A lot of people escaped, came back, which makes me think maybe it wasn't that hard, you know? But because the guards were drunk too.
Yes.
Because the guards were also prisoners.
Yes.
And the whole thing, like, when you build up like a labor camp, the logic to me is that you want profit from that labor. It wasn't even profitable.
Oh no, it paid. They had to pay to keep them up.
Yeah. Stalin really was like a dumb guy.
This is why one of the reasons why Khrushchev, I mean, there's many reasons, but one of the reasons because a lot of the Soviet Union's money went to upkeep of the Lenin's prisons camps. So Khrushchev was like, okay, we need the money. So
yeah,
he was not loving Estonians for letting them home. He just didn't want to pay to imprison them anymore.
Yeah, they really are like the biggest pieces of garbage.
Oh yeah,
but even Stalin,
he was
just a hot guy in his youth. Yeah. Have you seen picture of Stalin?
Yeah.
He had the riz, man.
What was his name? Chugashvili?
Yeah, something really cringy.
Chugashvili, Georgian name.
Yeah. And then he changed it to Stalin. I think he wrote poetry. Like really crappy poetry. Yeah.
He had the mustache.
Yeah.
And I don't think he looked that well.
No, not like later on. But like in his youth. Stalin was fire. He was hot. But the weird contrast is he wasn't like, it makes no sense that he became the leader because he wasn't charismatic.
No.
Have you ever seen like a speech
most boring person
from
ever.
Stalin?
Yeah.
It's a really squeaky voice. Like this serious mustachioed man comes up, everyone's clapping for like 14 minutes because the first one to stop is gonna be sent to Gulag. And he's then, Теперь мы из Советского Союза. How are you following this guy?
Well, you have no choice.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, exactly. That's because he was more cutthroat than the others.
I mean, yeah, we're talking about the funniness of the Soviet leaders. I gotta love the final year of Brezhnev. Дорогие друзья,
How is everyone an alcoholic?
In Russia?
Yeah.
Even Yeltsin.
Yeah.
Have you seen the videos?
Oh, have you seen pictures or video of Yeltsin? Like when he was flirting with the US to become like friends? When Yeltsin was with Bill Clinton.
Oh, yeah. Bill even was laughing.
Yeah. Bill was laughing and Yeltsin was just riffing. and drunk, like piss pants.
So drunk as you can get.
Yeah. And didn't like speech ended. He didn't know where to go. Like Clinton like pulled him. Hey, let's go there. It's funny. Like that's Slavs never disappoint in terms of content.
Oh yeah. Before war started, one of my main contents were Estonian reacts to Only in Russia compilations.
Yeah.
So that was my income before the war already. The Slavs never disappoint. So
yeah. But I remember when my family moved me from Jõhvi, which was 7% Russian, second most eastern city, and moved me to Tallinn, which
is like 99% Russian.
Yeah, which is more Russians, but they're living their own life somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But they put me to a private school, which was all Estonian.
Wow.
So I grew up in Jõhvi, like kind of disliking Russians because they beat me up. They took like when you were eating chips on the street, like a Russian boy came, put his hand in your chips, and just stole your chips. That's like my early memories from Russians.
Sounds just like Russia as a country. Just country.
Yeah. But I mean, there no like that's just it's not nobody's nation's characteristics are like rooted in stone. There's really normal Russians.
Oh yeah.
There's amazing Russians. There's Russians in Estonian military who are really patriotic towards their motherland. No, their fatherland, Estonia. But yeah, when I went to the private school, suddenly I was the Russian kid.
Oh yeah, did you have an accent?
Yeah, I had an accent. I held a knife and fork wrong. I was made like this one day. My mom wrote an email to like the schools, like the general mail that goes out to everyone. And she didn't have that good of a, like she was speaking fluently, but grammar was still learning. And I remember this one classmate in the cafeteria, like read the mail out loud and like sort of everyone laughed. And I just remember I was squeezing the fork because I was so angry.
Wrongly.
Yeah, wrongly. I was squeezing the fork in the wrong hand.
Oh, damn.
Because I'm like, I thought that was you guys. And I don't know. Now I think it's kind of cool that we have this edgy history.
Estonians?
Yeah, because it gives us this like edge, even creative edge.
Oh, very much. Yeah. And there are personalities, there are stories.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're like, I don't want to offend anybody, even if you say this, but
speak for yourself.
Like thinking about being born in Switzerland, in a family that has never had like tragedies.
They're wimps.
They're you cannot even say that.
They're
because
soft.
They have a lot of weapons in the country and no shootings, and almost everybody knows how to shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good country. It's a wrong example, but just I don't know what I want to say. Maybe I want to just somehow justify that it was okay that we were so much
peace
murdered.
And prosperity is a horrible thing to a country's art.
What is that
culture?
Saying that hard men make good times, good times make soft men make hard times make hard men.
That's true.
Yeah.
No good comedian has come out of Sweden for 100 years. Name me one.
I have 10% of Swedish people. Like, don't go away.
Yeah, you guys need more hardship.
Funny.
Create artificial scarcity to have more comedians.
From Sweden.
I've walked in Stockholm for like few hours when I went there, and I'm like, everyone has this look like they're holding in a poo, and their mouth are slightly open. Just like their government is paying for everything. And there's no age.
You're doing so much harm to me right now.
I don't care. They need to hear this. You
don't listen
snap
to
out of it.
Don't
snap out of your well-being.
People.
Your life is speeding past you. You need to create interesting art.
Go to the army and come to Estonia.
People. Yeah. Estonians are like...
Just invade Russia. That's interesting.
Yeah. No, that would be like very good for Russia to become part of Swedish...
No. But let's do it the Russian way. We don't invade. Green men invade. And suddenly there are separatist forces who are fighting for Russia against Russia.
Huh. Yeah, it's weird that it hasn't happened.
They maybe speak Swedish, but they're Russians.
Yeah.
And we should shoot down like a Malaysian Airlines while we're at it, so it's more legit.
Yeah, it's really easy to like do warfare against commercial planes. Just shoot the Lufthansa once in a while. Show your hard power.
It's like exporting soft power Russia into Europe is like Gazprom and football matches and all of that, like billions they're pouring into sports and everything. And then they just, okay, a lot of soft power, we're really good with it. Let's also use the hard power and they shoot down a civilian airliner immediately.
But honestly, like Estonia has, I think, the most amount of genuinely good comedians per capita.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a shades of grey.
Okay.
Because the reason why, because the fear of becoming homeless is a really good motivator.
You're screwed if you become homeless in Estonia.
Yeah, but you need to put all of your time into your art if you want to do it as a job. And when I went to Melbourne, they make $22 an hour washing dishes. I wouldn't be motivated to write an hour every year if I had that, or if my government just gave me money for existing. That wouldn't be a good thing for the human soul. Because I was like, they say Melbourne is the greatest, one of the best cities in the world. I really missed my hunk of garbage country when I was in Australia, because we're cool. We're like living in our Mad Max world here. We're making we're building cars out of scrap metal and putting aerosol on our teeth and singing great songs, and we feel that there's so much at stake for us to be great. But in Melbourne, I felt like they're all children, because they have nothing is at stake.
Nobody attacks them.
And no cool. Last famous comedian to come out of Melbourne was Hannah Gadsby. And, she's shit.
No, I think this is going to be the end now.
Yeah?
It was 1 hour exactly. And this, I think, has been like the freest, most loosiest, funniest.
Loosey.
Yeah. Oh, you wanted to plug your merch? I didn't even.
My merch?
I didn't even ask.
I don't. Since it's going to a global audience, if someone is quick enough to learn Estonian in a month, then, or if there's Estonian listeners, then me and 6 other comedians from Huumoriklubi, we are going on a cross-country summer tour beginning end of June until the end of July. We're performing every day in cities all along, all across Estonia. And you should come for your country's prosperity. And it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a hoot. I have a few geopolitical jokes and mostly penis jokes.
Yes.
And war is great for the art. That's also like, can you joke about
true.
War?
Yes.
Yes.
All my videos.
Hard times create the best humor.
Oh yeah, and if you talk to the soldiers who comes on the front,
like they didn't make jokes during Second World War. They had. Have you read it's in Estonian? It's Vahva sõdur sveik. So in English, I guess it's like the fun soldier sveik.
Yeah.
It's so funny. They have so many great jokes about the war, because human mind adapts to everything, the good, the bad, and once it has adapted, there's really no taboo, because actually when you do joke about those taboo subjects, the source of pain, it numbs.
It's also healing a little bit.
Yeah, it's healing.
Numbing the pain. Yeah, it's like a painkiller, and some people who don't do it, who have these stigmas that, okay, I'm not gonna joke about death. I cannot believe how hard life is for them. to not allow yourself the pleasure of humor about the hardest things in life. If I get cancer and die, I want people to laugh.
Yeah. Because especially if you get ball cancer, that's like the funny one. But
ball cancer?
Yeah, that's the funny one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm going to be dead.
If you don't joke about the humor is the best way to speak the truth in a way that relieves tension.
Mm-hmm.
But when you don't speak the truth at all, it just builds up in you. And it's unhealthy. So yeah, that's what I'm for. That's my part in this game.
I think if you bring more Ukraine and more the war into your stand-up routine, you will lose a lot of people listening.
Ukraine is like, they definitely have won the meme war.
Oh yeah,
they make such great memes.
I mean, it's not humor. It's not centralized for Russia. Like some bots have to be working, but for Ukraine, it's like NATO, millions of these guys just puking out memes for everything.
And best the Russian trolls can come up with under some TikTok video, it's NATO fault. Yeah, that's good content.
Zelensky regime.
Yeah. And what's also funny, when I said before that Estonians have this great reputation among the world, there's some exemptions. Like they say, there's a news headline, Estonian man robs jewelry store in Perth. And then you read the article and it's like, Estonian man Gregor Ivanovich Mikhailovich rob. I'm like,
there's not
not really. We're too beta to rob jewelry stores.
All right, Dan, thank you for coming to the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me. I hope you can use some of this.
Everything goes up. Let's see how people react to this, because if they react positive, I'm going to invite you back.
Yeah, Slava Ukraini, Slava Israel, Slava everyone.
You already went over the board.
Yeah, Slava all allies.
Okay.
And Unslava Russia. Slava Bogum Unio. Spasiba.
All right, my friends. Thank you for watching this one. If you made it this far, I'm glad you're alive. Next episode will be next Monday. Every Monday, come hell or high water, and I'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.